Welcome back to the mid-morning show. My name is Daisy Atino and you are live on USIU Radio 99.9 FM. I have my amazing guest in studio today whom I'm going to just let introduce himself. My guest, please introduce yourself.
First of all, thank you, Daisy, for inviting me to USIU Radio 99.9 FM.
You're welcome.
I don't know about amazing. I think you might choose a better adjective.
It's just a thing that we use.
It's too flattering. It's too flattering. Just say another guest.
Okay, you guys, I have another guest in studio today.
Yeah, my name is Sammy Derrick, and I'm an actor, amongst other things.
Yeah. Okay, so just to briefly expand on what you've said, who are you and what do you do?
You know, I feel like it's like a date question. You know,
but don't go through the date. My favorite color is this. No, please no.
My favorite color is beige. I'm kidding. Yes, I'm an actor. I'm a student at USIU taking my master's in communication.
Okay.
I'm a guy trying to figure life out. The past 2 years, I think, have been hard for everyone. So
yeah, definitely.
We're all trying just to figure things out.
I love that. That is different. And so currently, what are you doing? You're acting and then you're studying.
Acting, studying, and stand-up comedy. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So, since there's so many, let's say, aspects of who you are, I felt it's best to approach this by breaking them down. So we're gonna start with acting, yeah. Have you always liked acting ever since you were a child?
Okay, I think 16 is technically a child, right?
No.
Technically.
That's like a young adult.
Young adults.
Okay, by childhood I mean like 8, 9, 10, 11.
No, I was super shy growing up. I still am actually.
Yeah.
But I always loved movies.
Yeah.
You know, I never liked sports as a kid, but I loved watching movies.
Yeah.
I never knew why.
Yeah.
Until I tried acting at 16. So that's when it became a thing.
By trying acting at 16, do you mean like you actually had a proper acting gig at 16 or?
Yeah, I think I started doing plays at 16.
Oh, plays in school, yeah? Oh, the plays, yeah. And at what point did you really decide to become an actor?
I think at that moment, because acting is such a freeing thing for me. You know, unlike with other things that you do, there are other things racing in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
With acting, for me, it's such a freeing feeling. I'm lost in the moment. I think that's the best way to say it.
I understand. Funny enough, I have tried acting, but I feel like I can't just get over the anxiety and thinking too much. So for you to say it's freeing, it's the complete opposite for me. I'm too focused on getting it right.
Yeah.
So it blocks anything that I'm supposed to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but this is what I was told. A lot of acting is just listening and reacting to the person you're acting with. Yeah. But if it's a monologue, it's a bit different. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. And how about if you're shy? Because the reacting is the problem. Like, how about if you're shy and people are watching?
I don't know. I just overcome it, I guess.
Ah, okay.
That's me. That's how I do it, at least.
Yeah, a shy actor.
Yeah, I'm super shy in person. I'm boring. I'm vanilla. I'm ugali and skuma wiki.
Wow,
I'm missionary.
Vanilla, really? Missionary.
Yes, I'm boring.
Don't come from missionary like that. But did you take up any training, in this acting thing?
Okay, not formally, but there are a lot of, what do I call them? There are a lot of workshops and seminars that are done by actors, and I think those are really helpful. Yeah. If you can have the opportunity to seek formal training, I'd tell you go for it.
But are there even institutions here in Kenya that teach acting? I know film they do, but acting?
Yes, although they also hold seminars. They actually partner with other actors to hold seminars, but not formal acting. I feel like I ought to know that, but I don't know.
But you don't know. There probably isn't anyway. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Who would you say is your inspiration? First of all, here in Kenya, in Africa, and then internationally as an actor.
The political answer to say is anyone with an acting job.
Yeah.
Because getting a job in itself, I admire you, but
it doesn't have to be a big person, by the way.
Locally, I'd have to say Nick Mutuma is a pretty good place to start. And Anna Kariba is also another one. So many local. Bruce Macau is another one. There's just so many. Internationally, I feel like I have to always rep my own. So I'm gonna go with Lupita Nyong'o and Eddie Gathegi. Okay. So just out of respect, I'm gonna say those two.
Okay, that's nice. How about when it comes to the guys? Are you one of those George Clooney, Daniel Craig?
Yes, I actually.
Leonardo
DiCaprio. Yeah. Here's the thing. There's this track of thought that says there's a difference between being a movie star and being an actor. Now, for example, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a movie star. he more or less plays the same role in every movie.
I feel you, yeah.
Then there's a Leonardo DiCaprio who plays a different type of role in every film.
Yeah, so that's an actor.
That's more of an actor, air quotes. I'm choosing air quotes here, but again, it all depends on definitions because I can't knock someone for their success. I can't say that you're this or this. It's not up for me to decide,
Okay, I feel you. And then moving on, what are some of the projects that you've done? Let's say something that you did that you felt was really special.
I've worked on a lot of pilots that were never picked up. That's
every actor's story, man.
Every actor's story. There was this TV show that I shot the pilot for.
Yeah.
I think, okay, they had two names for the titles. One was Pete, another one was Baraka. Baraka was the surname of the family that I was playing. The plot of Baraka was I was playing this 22-year-old, college kid.
Yeah.
And one of his ancestors, one of like his paternal great grandfather was a witch doctor.
Yeah.
So he enchanted a ring, and whoever wore that ring, his soul would possess their body. So my character would wear that ring, and so it would basically be an 80-year-old man who died in the 1920s.
Yeah.
In the body of a 22-year-old man.
Yeah, reincarnation type of thing.
Reincarnation, so there would be a shift in personality and everything.
That's a cool concept.
It's a cool concept. Actually, I asked the producer, where did you get this concept from? Was this from Harry Potter, the Horcrux thing? So he was like, no. It's from a Mexican soap opera called The Body of Desire. The concept is the same. An old man dies, his soul goes into a younger man's body.
Yeah.
It was a really cool concept, but then because of the creep element of like, come on, it's body possession, we had to try and make it as comical as possible, to make it funny and, And I remember we shot the pilot. They asked me to come back for additional scenes to help in the pitching of everything.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of physical comedy in it.
Yeah.
Like, imagine an 80-year-old man who died a long time ago trying to use a blender, but he's in the body of a younger man.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that idea somewhere in Hollywood. I've seen it,
Yeah, so there are so many scenes that I was like, oh my God, we are shooting, I'm getting tired. I really loved it. It was a really nice concept.
Yeah.
The show obviously never got picked up.
But just the experience?
The experience was good.
It's something you took with you.
Yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah.
But the most prominent thing I've done, I was in Machachari for 7 episodes. It was a local show.
Okay.
I was playing an extortionist of all things, but...
It's basically like, I've seen this thing whereby in Hollywood, if you want to break through, everyone has to go through NCIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see?
Yes, exactly.
And guess what? You play the dead body. CSI, and it's not even to talk.
Non-speaking roles. Yeah, you're playing a dead body.
So, yeah, it's crazy. How competitive is the film and acting industry in Nairobi?
Wow, it's super competitive. Like, if you held up an audition, thousands would easily come.
And these are good people. Like,
good people.
Yeah.
Actually, in January, I think it was around January 28th, I went for this audition for a betting company. And, they said they'll be there by 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah.
I remember I got there at 10:04, and I was like the 23rd guy there. So you're like, wow, I thought I was
literally there 4 minutes.
4 minutes late, there are 20 guys ahead of you. And the guys who are there are good looking, they know how to act. I remember because we had to fill some forms.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the forms, I was the youngest, I was the shortest guy there, and I was the guy in the worst shape. So I was like, Yeah, it was, even like guys like Frankie Jimmy were there, a lot of like, Pascal Tokodi was auditioning for the same thing. So you're like, wow.
Will I really get this?
Yeah, so I was like, yo, if you don't act, this thing out.
Yeah.
Obviously, I never got it, but
it was important to be pushed in that moment.
Yes, it was, because it was a betting company. It was really high profile and everything. Didn't get it. It still stings to this day, but it was worth it. Yeah.
What do you think it takes though, to beat it in this competitive industry? What do you think it takes, like from those you've seen? Yeah. A
lot of it. Okay, this is the part I say determination.
Yeah, please don't bore us with all of that.
I think if you have, the last few projects I've worked on, we have this saying, if the machine is behind you, that's the producer, the director, the director of photography, the executive producer. If the machine, air quotes, is behind you and they believe in you, it can help your career grow leaps and bounds in a short while. So having powerful people in the right places who believe in you can make a huge difference.
Isn't that favoritism though?
I mean, welcome to Kenya. I mean, very few people get to high places
top without
some of that,
that element of favoritism.
Yeah, but merit also goes a long way.
Yeah, so it's like a combination.
It's a combination of talent, hard work, And it helps to work with people who believe in you, because if your boss hates you, you're in for a hard time.
Yeah. And then finally, what has been, okay, you have spoken about this, but I'm going to ask this again. What has been your best role so far? Maybe in something that was aired, let's say, something that made it past the shelves.
Something that made it past the shelves. I'm going to say that thing in Machachari, obviously, but I'll go back to Pete or Baraka, or the name they were trying to do. That was really interesting. Trying to play two different personalities at the same time.
Oh, you were playing both the old man and the young guy?
Yeah, because his soul would incarnate my body.
So they would do the makeup on you? Then
No, I'd be the exact same guy, but there would be personality shifts whenever I wore the ring. So I'd be like,
They didn't even try to give you grey hair or anything?
No. It was just an 80-year-old man's soul in the body of a 22-year-old man.
So he was challenging to bring out the old man while looking young.
Yes, because the 22-year-old I was playing was very meek, very mild-mannered, very okay, I'm good with it. But this 80-year-old man, he's a sexist, he's a bully, he's a, but technically it was fun. It was fun to play two opposite sides of a coin. Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, so let's get into the stand-up comedy bit of your life, yeah? How did you get into stand-up comedy?
Well, there's this, one of my favorite shows growing up was called Everybody Hates Chris.
I love that show! I love that show. Just a bit of a digress. He's in this new series called Abbott.
Yeah. And it was actually loosely based on the life of Chris Rock, who's one of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time.
Yeah.
And I found that we had so many similarities growing up. We are both firstborns. We both have nagging younger siblings. We both have overbearing parents. We both got bullied a lot.
Yeah.
So I decided that maybe I should try stand-up comedy. And it's been a nightmare, but it's also been good at the same time, so I can't complain. Yeah,
something I've always been very fascinated about with stand-up comedy. How do you guys come up with material?
Based off what other comedians say.
Yeah.
You have to draw experiences from your own life.
Oh.
I find that to be a huge part of it. But again, if your life is not that interesting, it becomes a bit of a challenge.
So do you seek out interesting things to get a backstory? Is that something, or that would be fake?
No, personally, what I do is that I try to see humor in a lot of situations.
Okay.
That's and trying to tune your mind to see the funny in everything can become a bit challenging. But, and I also try to read a lot, because the world will provide you with a lot of things to laugh about if you really look hard enough. Basically,
if you go back to how when Donald Trump was president, it was a very serious issue, but there were a lot of comedic moments from that. From the things he said to
the things he tweeted about.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a mess. Something else I want to know is what is your strategy for memorizing the monologue? Because I feel like it's almost like what rappers do.
Well, personally for me, when I write my material, I just write one word to help me remember the whole thing. So I'll say I have 5 points, right? Mm-hmm. The first point is I write High Court. And I'll go and say, well, guys, did you know that the High Court didn't legalize donkey meat in the country? There goes my only opportunity to eat some ass. So,
wow.
all I need to know is remember his High Court.
And then you
I'll just remember everything else.
But then the question now is, did you already know what you're going to say from High Court?
Yeah, I just know that High Court, and then I know everything else.
Leads to this story. So do you practice that whole story of the High Court?
Yeah.
Mentally, I mean.
Yeah, yes, I do. I practice it in front of other comedians as well. So you just write pointers, just like in an exam, right?
Yeah.
You remember that this point means all this.
Yeah,
that's all.
And how about improvising? Is that something that happens, or you should never improvise as a stand-up comedian on stage?
You can improvise if you're that good. I'm not that good personally. So there are people who can even with acting, there are people who can improvise on the fly.
Yeah.
There are some who need to rehearse.
Yeah.
Personally, when it comes to comedy, I prefer to rehearse. I can't just ad-lib off the head. Yeah.
And then for me, I really like Kevin Hart. I love Chris Rock. I love Dave Chappelle. Which of those guys, in America, do you really like?
I like a guy called Bill Burr. There was also
that guy.
Yeah, there was also a guy called George Carlin. He was one of those guys that was. He died although in 2008, but his material has aged so well. Yeah. So I'd say
Is he an old white guy?
An old white guy.
I think I've seen some videos of him.
Yeah, he's a huge influence to me. Also a guy called Robin Williams, especially when it came to impersonations.
Yeah, he was the
second
best.
To none.
Yeah. Okay. Something I want to know, is it legal for comedians to incorporate other people's stories into their performances?
Yes, just don't steal material.
From another
comedian.
comedian.
Yeah.
So if you came, you saw me, some funny things happened when you met me, it's okay to use my experience to create something.
Yeah, well, I do that a lot as well.
But you shouldn't name me though, right?
I'll just say, there's this girl I met at USIU Radio. And then this thing happens. Yeah, that's what you do.
I feel you.
Just change the names, not her real name.
But yeah. So that's okay.
Yeah.
But to get like, when you mean steal another person's work, you mean like, let's say if a fellow comedian here has done something, you can't...
Yeah, you can't steal material, yeah. It's hard to come up with material, by the way.
It must be.
Yeah.
It must be. Anyway, I would like to know, how long have you done stand-up?
I started in January 6, 2021.
It's been a year.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Happy 1 year anniversary of the nightmare.
Yeah, the nightmare continues.
The nightmare continues. So currently, where exactly are you doing it?
I partner with Punchline Comedy Club.
Okay.
They host a show at Two Grapes, that's in Kilimani.
Okay.
And then there's another one at Wine Life in Gigiri. I also partner with Standup Collective. They have a show at number 7. Yeah. Which is owned by a USIU alumni, that's Eugene Mbogwa.
Okay.
And where else they host? They have one in Mayurat in Westlands, yeah.
Yeah, so, is, how can I ask this question? Comedy, yeah? Do you specify the kind of things you talk about? Or are you, like, open to anything?
Well, it depends. There are people with paid gigs and they tell you, don't go into this, don't
Politics
talk about
and
this.
All that religion and all those things.
Yeah, they're told, they're the three no-go zones of polite society. That is sex, religion, and politics.
Oh!
Yeah, those are the 3 no-go zones. But in open mics where you're not paid, you do whatever you want.
So you can go all the way in.
Yes.
And how far, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how X-rated can you get?
Here's the thing, you can get away with anything as long as it's funny. That's what I've noticed.
As long as you deliver it in a funny way. Well,
yes. Yeah. Because their jokes I've made, I'm like, wow, that was bad. But if they laughed at it, you can get away with it. It's just... Okay, this is what I was told. You have to look at comedy like it's a fight.
Okay.
If you hit someone, what's their reaction going to be?
Yeah.
And if this is a reaction, how can you counter it?
Okay.
So and a lot of it is misdirection. A lot of it is, faking things and, Yeah.
I think an example of that, you've seen the roasts that the Americans do. Is that an example where they actually bring the celebrities on stage and they actually roast you and it goes deep?
Yes.
But as long as it makes people laugh,
you can get away with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that now. So something I want to ask, it's a bit political, but it's like, where do you think we draw the line on what can be made fun of and what can't?
Wow, that's a good one.
Because, let me just give a little bit of context. And just putting this out there, we're just using this context for the purpose of furthering the conversation, not to spark any
outrage.
Unnecessary.
Hashtag cancel this.
You feel me? No. So the thing is, remember like with the Shafi Weru case? You remember? I
don't know what that is. Please tell me.
The guys from the Homeboys Radio, when the lady fell, I think, and then the comments they made about her, they were mocking her as if that got them fired. Shafi and I think and DJ Joe. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, now I remember it.
You remember? Because I don't want to like...
I go into too much details.
Exactly. So that's an example of the situation. Like maybe that was something they shouldn't have made fun of.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to ask you. Where do we draw the line on what can be made fun of and what we shouldn't really?
Okay, this is a general rule of thumb. If you don't want it, if you wouldn't like a joke about you being made, don't make it.
Okay.
That's why you look at American roasts.
Yeah.
The person being roasted always gets an opportunity to roast back the people who are roasting them, right?
Yes.
It's a give and take.
Yes.
So that's what I think should be, because in a society there's freedom of speech, and that means you say whatever you want.
True,
but you should also know there's a counter to. It's a reaction. It's a give and receive. You
can't just call out someone and, okay, there's also this guy, Andrew Kibe, he also does that. Once again, just to further the conversation, please do not come for us. Is that an example of, like, what you're trying to say? No. Like, does it go too far sometimes?
Listen, if you say something, you better
be ready to deal
with the retaliation. Okay. If you're not willing to deal with the retaliation, then don't say it. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think that summarizes it. And then as we finish this part of the interview, who really makes you laugh? Like, really, really makes you laugh? Like I'm saying, like, belly type of laughing type of thing.
My comedian friends, they are so funny.
Are you for real?
I'm serious, they are just funny. The people who who say things and then they make them funnier.
Yeah.
They point out something, you're like, that is true.
Yeah.
You know, Sammy, you look both 23 and 45 at the same time, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow, bro, that's hurtful, but that's also funny. Yeah. They see the humor in a lot of situations. I say my comedian friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to them, whoever they are.
Yeah. Shout out to Stan Saleh, Taina Shira, so many, Doug Mutai, David Masharia, so many guys.
They actually make you laugh.
They make me laugh because they point out things that you wouldn't, see the humor in. They can make a joke about your iPhone and they have a Mulika Museum, but they'll make it funny. So that's them.
Yeah. And then lastly, this is a very interesting question. Do you consider yourself funny?
That's not up for me to decide. It's up for other people to decide. Honestly, okay. Here's the thing. I have been rejected by so many women, but they all say that I'm funny.
What does that have to do?
So the fact that they said that...
Yeah. Oh, like when they reject it, but they're like,
you're funny.
You're funny.
Yeah, so I was like, maybe there's something to it. And then my nephew, and kids have no reason to lie to you. I assume that, right?
Yeah, true that.
So I was like, he said that I'm really funny, and I was like, if he has no reason to lie to me, then there must be something, but it's not really up for me to decide.
Yeah, I feel you. So moving on to the last part of the interview, we're going to be touching about journalism. Yeah. So did you study like an undergraduate in journalism or something?
Yes, I did. Actually, I did a diploma in multimedia journalism, and then I did my degree in journalism as well. So yeah,
and then now you're doing a master's in it's like a path,
yeah.
I feel you. Are you trying to be like a professor or some?
At this rate, I wouldn't mind being a professor at this point.
Yeah, because you have that knowledge all the way from down there.
I wouldn't mind like being like a lecturer or something, but yeah, whatever happens.
Okay, so currently are you pursuing journalism in any form? And by that I mean it could be TV, radio, print. Are you pursuing that path?
Not as of right now. I just want to seek artistic interests first, like stand-up comedy and acting. Yeah. And when I can get into journalism, then I will get into it. If,
of course, you were to get into it, what topic areas do you think interest you? Because, there's finance, there's education, blah, 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 health, entertainment. There's so many aspects of journalism.
There are so many aspects that interest me. I think the thing that I would want to do differently is to be unbiased when reporting, because now more than ever there's a lot of side taking in journalism, right? Yeah. There's never objectivity. Yeah. And I think that's something that really interests me, especially in our political sphere and everything. Yeah. In conversations about gender equality, poverty. There's never an objective reporting on issues, and that's something that really gets to me. Yeah. So
it's not really about what area, it's about the way you would report.
Yes.
But now when you say objective, right now people are trying to be objective, but what do you really mean? Because I think what they're doing is okay. Unless you mean you would bring the two sides, for example, how we're talking off air about the border story. You would bring the two sides and just ask the questions. I don't know if you watch Hard Talk.
I have.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Naturally, if you have a brain, you have a bias. That's given. That's part of being human. Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with listening to both sides. Yeah. Not underrepresenting one side and overrepresenting one side. Yeah. And also getting opinions from others. Not just one side. I think that's a huge part of it.
The one-sided thing.
Yeah. Not you're clearly siding with a side. You have to be very objective. And listening to both sides is a huge part of it.
Okay. Yeah. And who would you say are some famous journalists who inspire you?
Not that many, unfortunately, but there's a guy called Graham Bassinger. Yeah. Graham Bassinger. I love how he interviews people. He's not trying to get a laugh. Yeah. He's not trying to, get you to spill the beans on something. He's just trying to have a genuine conversation with the person. And I find that to be really rare nowadays.
Yeah, in journalism it's very rare because there's always an agenda,
There's an agenda to be pushed, there's a joke to be made.
Yeah,
there's always...
there's a way you should be painted by the time the interview is done.
Yes, that's why I no longer have faith with some news channels like CNN and everything. I'm just like, no, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, so that's something like, another guy is also Yosayu's own John Allen Namo. Okay. Does well as well.
Yeah, he's an investigative journalist.
Yes, he is. So
nice.
Yeah, those two are the ones that come up to mind right now. Because if I had to think of who do I admire right now, not throughout I would say almost everyone, but right
the list is long.
Yeah.
But right now, okay. And then something else I want to ask: how have you been able to merge all these different aspects of yourself? Like, how did you find yourself, coming from acting, then going to study journalism, and then finding yourself in comedy?
I think one is just pursuing your interests and being passionate about something. And a lot of them tend to more or less demand the same thing: creativity, passion, hard work, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And having inclinations for certain things like performing, writing a lot, trying to discover and trying to know more.
Yeah.
They all lend into that thing, trying to inform others and to entertain others. I think they all fall under one roof, I guess you could say.
Yeah. But then, like, is it something that happened, like, some got picked up along the way? Mm-hmm. Or did you already know? You know how, like, how did it happen? Was it a journey of, like, oh, I like doing this, let me start doing this?
Yeah, actually, I fell into a lot of those things because I'm super shy.
Into them,
and I'm very shy. So whenever somebody just said, "Go try this," I tried, and I was like, "Oh, this is not for me. This is for me." So, there's a lot of trial and error.
There's a lot of removing what's not for you.
Yeah.
And but so the thing is, these are very distinct creative spaces: journalism, acting, and stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Are you really able to give 100% to all three? Is it even possible?
As well, it depends because, like I said, the past, I was doing really well in acting 2019.
Yeah.
Then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
So that means I didn't do anything. Then 2021 I started comedy and I did okay at it. Now it's 2022, so I'm just trying so many things at once.
Yeah, but is that a thing that people should do more often? Because, we came from this background where you're told...
Specialize or something.
Specialize.
Tunnel vision.
You feel me, be a doctor, be a lawyer, and just follow that all through. Or if you want, pick one of the three.
Well, I'd like to do all three. They're like my children, all of them. I don't have a favorite child of the three.
No, there's always a favorite child. There's always a favorite child.
Acting, I would say. Stand-up comedy, I hate you. You're not even mine.
Yeah.
No, but... if I could, I would do all three of them.
Yeah.
I think because when you're passionate about something, it feels less like a chore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh God, have you ever gone to your place and looked at the sink and it's full of dishes and you are like,
yeah, this is...
I'm the one who has to wash all of these.
Yeah.
But then you could easily get it done in 15 minutes. But I don't look at it like that,
Okay.
It's just, I get to do this. I guess I'll do it,
And somehow they've managed to blend into your time?
Yeah, I think a lot of
There's no situation where they clash?
There has been, but not like so much clashing.
Yeah.
Like I remember in 2019, this was my junior and senior year, and I was acting a lot.
Yeah.
And that's when you start doing projects and everything.
Yeah.
So I was really stretched out on time around that time. So, but you manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this philosophical question that most people refer about acting. Is it true that we all act in our real lives?
Yeah, I guess we do. We have different faces that we put in front of others, right?
That's what I'm saying. The masks we wear.
The masks we wear. That's deep. That's deep. Yeah, of course we all act.
Yeah.
Yeah, if have you ever, like, say you're late for a meeting, for example, right? Mm-hmm. And you are late because you hit the snooze button on your alarm.
Yeah.
You're going to say, oh my God, traffic was so bad. You see, that's kind of acting.
That's
right?
not the real reason.
Yeah, but that's not the real reason. So you just make things different. Have you ever tried to deal with a toddler who's throwing a tantrum?
Yeah.
In public?
Yeah.
Hey, relax, it's fine. That's acting. It's all conveying an emotion, trying to convince them to do something.
That fits the situation.
That fits the situation, yeah.
Yeah, and also that could penetrate the situation and get you the results you need.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we are all actors in our own way.
In our own way. Some better than others.
Except that, number one and number two, some of you get paid for it.
Yes. In fact, there's something from my childhood. I think one of my... I remember I tried judo and I was beaten up badly.
What's judo?
Judo, it's a martial art.
Oh, judo.
Yeah. And I think my coach said judo is basically wrestling. Anyone can wrestle. It's just that some do it very badly, some do it very, very well. Yeah. It's the same thing. With acting, the same thing. We all act. Yeah. Some will do it very badly, some will do it very well.
Okay. Also, are there some kind of Oscar-like situations here in Nairobi for actors?
Yes, they are the Kalasha Awards. They're the most prestigious awards for a lot of people.
Okay.
And I've seen people get emotional because they didn't win. But
are you for real?
Yeah, but don't act for trophies. Yeah, just act because you love it.
Do it out of your heart and everything.
Yes.
And then as we wrap up this interview, you refer to yourself as eccentric. What exactly does that mean?
I'm weird. It's just a nice way of saying that I'm weird.
It's just like a cool way of saying you're weird. Yeah. But now when you take on this whole being weird, it takes on so many definitions in people's minds. Yeah. And you're open to them interpreting it whichever way.
Yeah, interpret it however you want.
Are you for real?
Yes, I am.
Look at you smiling.
Yeah.
Is it a personality trait you developed, or did you some people discover this about themselves when they're like 15, they're like, yo, I'm different, I'm just...
Well, a lot of people say I'm weird and funny, so I just decided, you know what, fine. I'm not one to fight people's definitions of myself, you know.
Yeah.
If people think you are something, then, you know, there's only so much you can do to change it.
So you are something because people say you are something, or you are something because you are something?
It can be both, because, you know, other people see things in you that you can't see in yourself.
Yeah.
So...
Well, thank you for coming to
my mouth is full of spit right now. I'm like, it's like I was rapping or something.
You are. You are kind of, actually. Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on the show, Sammy.
Thank you so much.